Welcome, investors. I want to kick off this show exclusively today with a real story, a tale that would seem like it was taken from a fairy tale book, but it actually happened. It happened in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's now been close to a century since this happened, since this inspirational life script has begun. Now, this story, like any good one, is about a trial and a tribulation, so gather up, grab a blanket, come a little closer to your screen. This story is going to blow you away. And it's not a story about easy street and a straight way to the top. This story revolves around a man that believes in America, believes in entrepreneurship and innovation, but most of all, a man that respects cycles, booms, busts, hype, depression, cheap and expensive, the drama of market volatility, which we're seeing right now. He summed it up with a famous quote: "You need to be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy." And today we call this approach contrarianism. And it simply means that the best time to embark upon a business venture is when no one else wants to be involved in that activity. People are scared. Well, since the perception is that the sector has been left for dead or it'll never recover. I love those types of opportunities. And I remember back in 2008 and 2009, contrarians were out there buying real estate when everyone else was selling and freaking out. Remember the massive amount of foreclosures? Everyone was liquidating and running away from real estate. You buy straw hats in the winter is another saying from another famous billionaire. And it doubles down on the same concept. In order to sell high, make money, basically you have to buy low first, right? In real estate, the profit is made on the purchase. And you can never, ever reverse that order. Okay, so 90 years ago, a certain person named Warren Buffett, maybe you've heard of him. He was born at the worst time in American history, the Great Depression. Prices were so cheap at the time, and crisis was everywhere. But buying assets back then proved to be the best decision an investor could have made. Since everyone else was running for the exits, he was buying.
You don't buy or sell your business based on today's headlines. And if it gives you a chance to buy something that you like and you can buy it even cheaper, then it's your good luck, basically.
And you can look at this just mind-boggling progression in net worth. Take a look at this through the years chart. Buffett only became a billionaire when he was at age 56. It's a story of long-term thinking and of constantly doubling down on out-of-favor investments when panic was in the air. But you know what? Warren Buffett has made a number of big mistakes. Missing Google, but none bigger than missing gold. 20 years ago, if Warren Buffett had taken the billions that he had sitting aside in cash and put it into gold or gold mines, his company right now today would be the largest company in the world. Berkshire Hathaway, his company, would be triple the size of Apple. And you might have seen anger this week in headlines about Warren Buffett from shareholders who are wondering, why isn't Berkshire Hathaway performing better? But if he had invested in gold, if he had put that money into gold 20 years ago, if only. Now look at this. In order to accumulate a fortune and become a billionaire, one doesn't necessarily have to be a genius like Warren Buffett, or to be able to spend 10 hours every day reading financial statements and charts. You don't have to. Instead, one person could actually be excellent at hunting talent, finding the right person, connecting with him, and investing in him, so to speak. So this is a story about a person who actually spotted how brilliant Warren Buffett was and then invested with him, resulting in a 277,000% return, enough to turn $1,000 into $2.7 million. And that is amazing to me. Okay, so what does this miracle of the stock market and our American way have to do with you? Why should you care? Well, between 2014 and 2017, gold mining was totally out of favor. It was in a bear market, it was totally in the gutter, and basically no one wanted to invest in discovering gold. I'm talking about discovering gold, not the actual substance itself. So it was a time of complete and utter pessimism. Well, what we've just learned about such times is that they are short windows of opportunity, small windows where billions of dollars can be made. And they are, in fact, made. In the rough bear market years, a young entrepreneur, hungry entrepreneur named Colin Cattell was implementing this Warren Buffett playbook, essentially doubling down on the contrarian opportunity of accumulating dirt cheap gold projects. And he wasn't doing it in any old place either. He went right for the crown jewel. He did it in Nevada, which is a gold mecca, if you're not familiar with that. It's a world-class jurisdiction for gold mines. Well, guess what? Just a few weeks ago, Colin Cattell and his team decided to take the company public And its name, rightfully so in my opinion, is called Nevada King Corporation. To jump on this company in the United States, one needs a traditional brokerage account for this one, like any of these. I personally use E-Trade for these types of purchases. You remember the chart I showed you, though, about Buffett earlier, where the greatness was in finding him young and hungry. Well, Colin Cattell is young and hungry. And Nevada King is the second company that he's taken public recently. You want to see what happened when the first time he took one public? It began trading in August 2020, and it's up 400% already in 8 months. So what do we have here? Because I want to stress this is the #1 most important video I've ever put out on a gold company, and I truly want to thank Nevada King for supporting the channel and sponsoring this video. Let's go over the top 3 reasons that I am bullish on this company right now. #1, always keep in mind that timing is everything, right? So I've spoken many times about positioning before the herd, before Wall Street gets wind of something, before there's a potential bidding war. Well, Nevada King has just gone public and started trading on the stock market. And secondly, they're beginning their $10 million drilling program right now. You remember their second company that's already soared 400% in 8 months? Well, much of that profit is attributed to their drilling result from exploring gold in their projects. This is the exact same catalyst. Only with Nevada King, we haven't missed the boat yet, if the result proves to be very strong, which I believe it will be. #2, the Federal Reserve. They just changed their tune this past Friday, suddenly beginning to admit that inflation could become a problem, could really be a phenomenon that doesn't just go away, but it lingers with us. If that's the case, gold companies like Nevada King can see massive interest in them. So take a look. This is their land package. It's located in the heart of the gold mining district in Nevada. I mean, this is like real estate in downtown Manhattan for comparison. It's where 92 million ounces of gold was already discovered. So if the Fed is now admitting inflation, you know that this is a possible mother lode moment. And if you've been waiting for confirmation that our own central bank is worried about inflation, well, now you have it. Because the last time inflation ran wild and was set this loose, gold stocks rallied big time. All right, #3. So the last important piece of this puzzle, in many ways, is the buyout potential. Now stick with me here because this is where this gets super interesting on this company. Check out this graph. Even though Nevada King is a new company, very, very small, compared with Kinross and Hecla, both listed in this chart because it did the legwork, the company's land package is the 4th largest in Nevada. And where I want to draw your imagination towards is the potential of a future buyout. Someone comes in and buys Nevada King, possibly. Potentially. Maybe. So a speculation still, but a still well-educated one, right? What if they get an offer to be bought out by one of the mega gold companies, which wants a larger foothold in Nevada during this run-up of hyperinflation? That's a highly plausible situation, right? Well, buyouts happen to be one of the best value creators for stock prices. So if you're asking yourself, what is the blue sky potential here? The rosiest scenario, it's that Nevada King gets an offer or multiple offers to be taken over by a large cap and then shares jump dramatically. Again, this is all pure wishful thinking, right? At this point. But the logic behind it is very solid. If inflation continues to rise, gold will as well. And Nevada King might do what Colin's last company did, and that's surge 400% in 8 months. So do your own analysis of this and see for yourself. Do your own research. Drop me a comment below. Are you going to take advantage of this? I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.